Hello, welcome to Coding with Drew. In this section, we're going to learn how to set up Visual Studio Code. The only difference between where you are right now and where I'm about to be is I'm going to head over to Safari. You, as I've instructed, have Google Chrome. Google Chrome doesn't work very well in a virtual Mac, so I'm using Safari. In any case, you can use Safari if you really choose. Here is your browser. If you're not familiar, you can just type in your Google search here, or you can go to google.com. We're going to search Visual Studio Code. Download. And we're going to go to the first result here. It should be at code.visualstudio.com. Just click the link. And then you're going to download for your appropriate operating system. So we're going to do Mac. And then it's going to download. And should be here in the downloads. After you've downloaded it, I want you to open it. We can also go to Finder and go to our downloads. And we can move Visual Studio Code from our downloads to our applications directory. Just like that. And now I'm being prompted to see if I would like to run Visual Studio Code because it was downloaded from the internet instead of the Apple App Store. And I'm going to click open because I trust it. So now Visual Studio Code is open and we can close our browser now and our Finder. Let's full screen this by using the little green button here and enter full screen. So this is your Visual Studio Code window. You can choose your color scheme. I prefer light, so we're going to use light in mine, but you can do dark or high contrast. You do you. We're going to close this getting started option here. And I want to get you familiar with Visual Studio Code. So first thing you'll recognize here is this little, it's like document. This is your Explorer. And if you open it, you can see files just like you would in Finder, File Explorer, and Windows. And it just lists all the files in a directory. Currently, we don't have any files. And so we'll get to that in just a moment. Here you can search in all of those documents for words, file names, etc. We can also do a search or replace. This is a Git extension that works with GitHub and will make your life a little bit easier. But for now, we don't need to worry about this. We're going to get to it in a later section. And this is our run and debug panel. We'll also get to this in a later section when we start coding. And this is your extensions. So I recommend less is more when it comes to extensions, but there's a couple that you should probably go ahead and start with. Prettier is one, and it's right here. You can also search for Prettier up here. I'm going to demonstrate that because it might not be on your most downloaded options here. And so we're just going to click install and you'll see that it's installing. Now we're going to do a search for indent rainbow. And we can click on it to see more details. What this will do is make it so when you tab, it'll have a different color. So it's easier to see. And I find this extremely helpful. It's really lightweight and shouldn't interfere with other extensions. And then there's rainbow brackets. There we go. So rainbow brackets, a common challenge when coding is making sure all your brackets match up. And this will just help you along by giving them a little bit of color. Since the first section we're going to cover is Markdown, I also want to suggest Markdown all-in-one. And we're going to install it. Now you have your extensions. Now you also have settings down here and you have accounts. I've never logged into an account and I can't really speak to it. It's not necessary, but maybe you'll find some use for it. Another interesting thing you can do is use your command palette. And you can see the shortcut is Shift Command P. I'll demonstrate Shift Command P and it opens this up. This is your command palette. I want you to open this up, Shift Command P, and then if you don't have the greater than sign in there already, you'll want to type in the greater than sign. And then type path. And we should see from the drop down an option to install code command in path. We're going to go ahead and click that. It's going to prompt you for administrator privileges. And I'm going to get mine. So put in your password and press OK. Shell command code successfully was installed in path. I'll explain what this does in a moment. If you press Command-Shift-P again, and you backspace that greater than sign, you can search for files or words, but this is a really quick way to find a file you're looking for. Demonstrate that in a future section. The next thing we're going to learn about is our terminal. So Visual Studio Code is an IDE, or a integrated development environment. That means that you can develop on the computer or device that you're using, and this gives a really pretty way to do it. And it also comes with a terminal. The terminal is where you would run commands. The first commands I'm going to teach you are going to be in another section. For now, I wanted you to see how to open a new terminal. You just go to the menu, terminal, new terminal, and that's it. Down here, inside the terminal little window, you can choose what kind of terminal it is. You can say Bash, ZSH, JavaScript debug. You can split it. A couple of different options. You can add multiple ones, and they'll be listed here so you can easily switch between them. And you also have the ability to close them. That should be all for this section. In the next section, we're going to set up our local development environment.